Yeah.
Ultimate.
Ultimate.
B, better than ever.
Better than ever. BE
B.
ultimate.
Fierce.
They should add that one.
We're actually meeting with Kevin tomorrow from B to help us brand it a little bit better.
We'll get
Kevin
like a nice
Quinlan?
transition.
Yeah, Kevin
Yeah.
Quinlan. What
Temper legend.
is he a Temper legend
You
too?
played for Temper?
In 2021, he played with us at Nationals.
Oxymoron.
Hey.
Who's in the Temper Wall of Fame? Who's the starting 7 Temper all time?
Oh.
Probably
Pat
Ty
Earls.
D, Pat Earls.
Okay.
Both of the Thorns, probably.
Definitely.
Was that your door thing, Thomas?
It was my door thing.
Oh my God. So me, Nut, Trent, Nate, a bunch of people stayed at it's called the Breeze House, I suppose, in DC for the training camp. And every single time someone opens the door, the little voice goes like, "Back door open," or like, and it's just the creepiest.
Who's at the Breeze House?
The Breeze House is me, Elliot Bonet, Rowan, AJ, and Lauren lives here too.
You're all roommates?
We're all roommates. Here it is again.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good time.
All right. Tell us about what am I watching here?
I think this one is a play we call Tornado, which again is probably like diamond. So I'm going to come under and Elliot's going to go deep. So I come under as like that slash. Elliot goes out and put it out to space with a little nose angle because we're at altitude and we were a little downwind. And
Yep, one of the few hucks that was hit.
Yeah, you guys missed a lot in this game.
I think both the completed ones, though, were Thomas to Bonet.
Yeah.
Bonet.
So, yeah, this is a classic one, classic horizontal play.
Yep.
If you do not get this first under, do you guys have options off of it?
Yeah, if I don't get this first under, I would go out and then Elliot would come in, or it looked like Wodach was on the close rail here. He could make a slash for Gus there, but I mean, we're probably out of time at that point, so we'd probably just get into our handler movement.
Gotcha.
I do like what Wodach is doing, though. He's like engaging. His guy still like ended up helping, but he is trying to engage pretty or like now, to help not like get that help there, but. And a free upfield pass if you don't hit that huck. But I love how Elliot doesn't even set it up. He just is like, I'm fucking faster than you, and you're under me. I'm just gonna run.
I mean, yes, and I think that's a lot of how I set up my cutting too. Like I don't set this up. I know it's off screen, but I just run to the space that the person defending me is not, and I beat him there.
That's a good question for all of you. If you are running a set play, and we have our different takes on what we think of set plays, but do you, if what you're trying to do is taken away, at what point do you break the script? Do you guys think about that? Yeah.
If my person was like in the lane here, stopping like between myself and the Frisbee, obviously not thrown, I would try and challenge their footwork and get past them still, or maybe make a small move to then make them bite the opposite way to get past them. But especially in DC and under coaching from Lauren, like we like to challenge their footwork. So we still run the play and still have the motion that the offense is expecting.
Mm-hmm.
And then if not, that's when we'll go to plan B, whether that's the handler set or making a different shape of the cut or starting a different part of the cut later. But that is what we like to do here, at least.
Sure.
So what if they're just sagging the lane and like no matter how you attack them, like you're probably not going to get it? Like, do you just kind of start going with the handlers and then?
I would say we still want the cutters to try and challenge their footwork to attack that space, because then that defender either has to take you or has to commit to doing something else, and that will likely open up a different space. So we still want to try and run the play and get into the motion that we have decided on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we like to attack those spaces even if they are sagging, make them make a decision.
Sure. Okay. 5503 here.
This is similar. I think it's more of a
Side
more
stack.
slash to 4. But I like this one
Okay.
because then we get on the break side, and then we're kind of running back with that tempo to the force side. They might be flat or force middle. But again, I identify where my person is off screen. I kind of attack them to make them stop. And then I know that A-Roy is pretty much unmarked, so I can just come under for big yards. Or
Is
big-ish
this
yards, not
are
huge.
either of these plays force dependent for you guys, or do you are you just attacking that space?
I'm going to attack that
regardless?
space no matter what, especially with A-Roy with the disc. Like, I think he's just
For
such
sure.
a fantastic break thrower, especially with his arounds, that I can attack that space no matter what.
Do you have a name for this one that you can share?
This might be a tornado right or just a slash. This actually might just be our flow play. As you can see, 3 of our players were kind of tucked like side stack, and we had 2 kind of active in the lane, and I just chose to initiate, and then I just came under. So that might be what this play is.
Yeah.
I think it's crazy. They don't hit the bump to A-Roy after it gets over to.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Surprised Taimon didn't
Is
throw
it
that
Taimon?
little bump.
I'm shocked that right here
Here.
it doesn't go back to A-Roy.
Yeah.
Especially with like you guys hit those so much, especially to Johnny.
Mhm.
I'm shocked that one didn't go up.
Yeah, I agree.
It's because Taimon sucks, right?
Nope.
Nope. Taimon's incredible.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Going back quickly, and Kins touched on, or maybe it was Quinn touched on this on the last play. Wodach again here and time on. Everybody is already starting to activate and engage their defenders.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we've been talking about a decent amount actually in the summit, because we've been struggling with that. We've been on the big field. We've been very spread out.
Yeah.
And at times it's just hard to access anybody on.
Yeah, I like how they're moving across even kind of while it's happening, because it's just you're so far away anyway.
Kins, was it hard to talk about us positively on the broadcast? Sometimes it felt like you were like,
I mean, you guys, it was like fucking Salt Lake, and I thought I did a good job, though. You
did a good job. I could just hear it in your voice. Like,
people could say that I don't have a great filter to that, and I feel like I kept it very positive to both teams.
You did well.
And maybe, no. What did you think about playing Salt Lake? What was that like? Probably like your first time really playing the Utahians.
Yeah, they are definitely very physical, especially on the mark.
It was crazy, that game. That's like the close. I was just like when I was commentating, I was like, because it was you. I think that the one point was crazy where I think it was Jorgensen fouled you on a turnover, and then you got 10 yards, and then just like sets up fouling you.
Yeah,
and then the disc swung, and someone caught it, and it was just foul on the mark again, just immediately. It's like,
and I was just in the
what
booth,
the
like,
fuck are we doing?
So that was a good example of me. I'm in the booth, like, Salt Lake marking very physically here. We'll see what's gonna happen. Where in my mind I'm like, they're fouling on purpose. What the fuck are they?
I've mentioned this to Quinn and Kins that we should do like a segment on the weekly UFA refs email that I get. Do players get those too, or is it just the coaches?
Just the coaches. I've heard about them.
I will say, I'll give a little tidbit. And after week 1, there was a lot of talk about those specific physical marks and how they're going to watch out for those. Okay, what are we looking at here? Do you recall? Do you need me to press play?
No, I think this is a slash from like 3 in a host stack. So I'm going to come back towards the camera here, I believe, once Gus gets it. Yeah.
In like a cross action. Yeah.
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 So 1 and 2 go deep. I kind of take that space.
And you continue to the 2, it looks like, right?
The 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is this sort of play it by ear there, where Cole and was that Taimon are working together, or is it pretty scripted?
Look at that mark. Holy moly. Holy shit.
They're the same person.
Look at that.
Come here.
Oh my god.
That's
the most egregious mark I've ever seen.
He had a good game against us.
God.
Is that the Russ Nuggle?
Yeah, I think the last time he played was in Nashville.
Oh,
Jesus fucking Christ.
And he did have a good game against us. God damn. I mean, everyone did.
My God.
So I was pretty impressed with Bryce Merrill at tryouts, but then I heard him talking to the refs after the game saying that we were fouling Salt Lake because we were stepping through their mark. And I was like, what?
Oh, I mean, at that point, it's just gamesmanship. I saw him talking to that too, and
I think Bryce is all about gamesmanship.
I think he's kind of trolling. I love Bryce. Bryce is hilarious.
He before they played us, they were here a few weeks ago, and he told us McKay Jorgensen was going to be subbing in. And then like a minute before the deadline, he was like, just kidding, he's not. And it doesn't really affect, we had our line set, it didn't matter, but I know he was doing that just to fuck with us.
Because McKay Jorgensen is a game buster for us.
Game buster.
All the Jorgensen bros are good.
For sure.
They are good.
But yeah, can you give us just one little more detail here? When after you get this under, what are your secondary looks, and do you have is it a scripted continue for you guys?
Yeah, I think since I came from the 3, the 2 is going to be my continue. So that was Cole. And I think I remember when I looked up field, he was a little too deep for a huck. So I don't remember if I pumped there, but then he just came under. He's a great cutter. He recognizes he's probably too deep. So he just comes under and eats up that space. And then we're trying to flow away from the disc here. So that's why we're trying to play to that far side. And then we try to hit Johnny on a pop. And then we're running with Rowan next, I think. Yeah. And then Rowan gets hugged here.
Jeez. And it's like he's bouncing off and going back at him.
Oh, man.
So you do look for a deep shot off of that, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially me, I like to throw those.
Yeah. I mean, that's like my catching it to the wide flick side on like that action and throwing like not really crossfield, but like that huck to the other cone is like the only reason I'm good at Frisbee. It's because I throw that well.
Thomas, another question about DC stylistically. Do you find that the big field is different for the style that DC plays, or does it fit just the same?
That's a good question.
I think defensively, we play club ultimate defense on the big field because that's kind of where what we've learned and what we've gotten good at. And maybe we aren't the best defensively at the UFA style. Not that we're bad by any means, but I think we do get burned sometimes when we're playing club ultimate style defense on that big of a field. And sometimes you'll see teams that are playing more of a UFA style of defense, maybe more helping, get more blocks than we do. And so I think that might be our growth trajectory in terms of like our style. I know you're asking like offensively, but I think tempo is tempo. And if we can be like, running through the middle of the field, it's going to be unstoppable if any team's doing it, really.